Oh, hello. Hi. Heather here. I am the owner of UU Yarns, this nice little boutique yarn brand. You can see my rainbow of colors back here, and that is exactly what I want to talk about today. So, this is some of our You So Sporty, and you can see all these really fun, bright colors. And I just want to go over how they're intentionally planned in the zone of color theory and talking about a topic in color theory called complementary colors. If anybody's viewing, do you, let's see, let me put this back there. Okay. Do you know what complementary colors are, or how do you know the sets of them? Like, there's kind of a rough rule of the sets. So I would love any comments or questions as we go along, but I thought we'd get started. So you're probably familiar with the old color wheel. We'll go from here. And the way a color wheel is sort of set up is to be a general rule of the visible light that we see. And it kind of works the same way as mixing paint. So, to make, you have your three primary colors: red, yellow, and blue. And those three colors you can mix to make the other colors. So you mix red and blue to get your purples and your violets, and you mix red and yellow to get your oranges, and you mix red and blue to get your greens. And so the principle of complementary colors is colors that are opposite on the color wheel, which means you don't have any red inside of green, like when you're mixing paint. You can make things that are reddier or something like that. But as a general rule, you use blue and yellow to make green. You don't use some combination with red in it. And same goes for blue or for purple. You don't use any yellow when you make a purple. And same with orange. You don't use any blue. You use red and yellow. So what that does is it makes those colors the highest contrast. And that is where we get sort of those words that come from, like, contrasting colors and vibrating colors. And it's because your eyes are trying to figure out what's happening. When we're in December, red and green. Those, look where they are on the color wheel, red and green. So when you put those next to each other, you get maximum, like, visual vibration. Hold on, I didn't put my yarn up here. What, Heather? Get my fun little yarn tote here. So yes, if we take red and green, then look at how much those two play back and forth off each other. And then the same goes for blue. And what did we say was opposite blue? It doesn't take any blue to make orange. So here's your blue and your orange. And those, how many sports teams do you see with those colors? There's your Broncos or whatever. Your Blue Jays, I don't know. So hold on. Okay, and then what was our last set? Ooh, indigo purple and What's opposite that? Yellow. Okay, here. The UU yellow is a light, nice lemon chiffon, I call it. Where is my iris blossom? Where did she go? Here she is. Look at that. Bam. So those two are so bright and vivid. Anne, hi Anne, nice to talk to you. So both green and purple have blue in common. Yes. And we talked about that a little bit the other day. I'm glad you brought that up because blue, both green and purple. Yes. Okay. So that we talked about what's called analogous colors a couple couple weeks ago in our video. And that is when you make a color family that goes around the color wheel. So that's how you can do like a fade, but all with colors, not a black and white fade. You can go green, blue, purple, and it makes a really pretty thing. So here's green, blue, and purple. And look how pretty those are together. But if we took green and blue and we threw red in the middle, that changes it totally, doesn't it? It really, because these two are so vibrant against each other. So just adjusting where you're sort of sitting here, if you want to say. So if we go red, blue, and yellow, how can I do this? Can Heather hold this? No. Anyway, so that's sort of where we're at. Maybe I'll have to make a visual for us. Shopping Jam. Hello again. Made another one, but a little bit late, but I made it. Oh, yeah, I'm just getting going. So I'm happy you're here. Thank you. So, yes, that is why, you can take red, orange, and yellow, and they make a nice little happy family together. But where else do I want to go? So then you can take those to extremes too. Like if you want to go, you can tone it down with colors. It doesn't have to be so vibrant because you don't have to work on this primary scale. You could work down on the tints and shades and look how rich that looks, but it still works. These, the red velvet with the forest fern. You've put some darkness in there. Like what an awesome combo that is. But it's not as loud as this, which is great for some purposes. But even say you want to make something with some punch, you can go back to your red and green like this, and then add the red here if you're a big fan of red. Look how much it changes if we add the green there. Or if we do all four. So not only did we take a complementary color set, but we took it with the shades. We've added the black into it here. Here, let's just throw the black right in there. Like, how good does that look? That would make an awesome project. And, you could take your purple, and if you want to go real crazy, do it with your, oh my gosh, the citrus pop is even like reflecting off that purple. That is crazy. But you could, like I said, tone it down with my softer yellow. I don't have like a sunshine yellow in my line because it's not a color often that people like. I don't know. Anyway, whatever. Maybe one day. So where am I at? So we have purple and yellow. And if we want to tone that down a little, we can make it more purple with the indigo, or we can make it softer with our friend lavender. Like, look at that. Would you like a crocus? Like, how beautiful is that setup? There is your first spring crocus that we'll see in a couple weeks. So pretty. So you can take those complementary colors and then, so I showed you a way to slow them down, and we'll just work with the red and green since we're right here. So we slowed them down with our shades, which if we go back to our other one, tints add white, the hue is the main color, and then shades add black. So we've dropped back down to the shades, but then we can do other things, which are kind of my favorite to play with, which would be like a split complement, which starts to get, those start to get real crazy, which maybe I don't need to get it. Maybe we do split complements another day. So, well, we'll do one real quick. Let's see. Which way should we go here? So if we take teal, so that's a bluey green. And then we can take a darker blue. So let's go with like midnight blue, our navy. And then what's opposite the color wheel? We have orange. So let's take a look at that one. So this is some maximum punch happening here. But we've added more colors. That is a lot going on. So that, yeah, wow. You can really see, wow, we actually almost toned it back a little bit. So our main colors of orange and blue, but then if we bring in one section in each direction, it kind of cuts it back. Let's get rid of that blue. And look, it kind of softens out that orange a little bit, doesn't it? It's kind of neat. Oh. But then you can do the fun thing of adding a light color. God, I get so excited talking about this stuff. I'm like warm, like my face is getting warm. Oh, what a nerd. So on the analogous colors, when the ones where we go around the color wheel to make a color story, we did a really fun one on that live stream where we had the aqua and the heathered aqua and the teal. Where else did we go? Maybe we had silver in there. I don't quite remember right now. But so say you really love this color story, but then you need, you're going to make some kind of fade in your sweater or your scarf. Let's do a yoke sweater. Let's imagine a yoke sweater. So we have these beautiful colors that we're using that are going to fade throughout, but you want maximum pop on that background. So if we take blues and greens, so we're on this side of the wheel, so then we want to come over here into the oranges and the yellows. So we could go real crazy and pop it. Oh, I've literally made a shawl in this color palette. Is it over here? Oh, I don't know. Oh, that's hilarious. I wasn't even thinking about it, but I have knit this. I have knit a shawl in this combo. So then our pop is really a pop, and maybe it's just one stripe, or maybe it's some color work pattern that happens throughout here. And this is going to give you a maximum vibrate. And the yellow, look how pretty that looks, much softer. So then if we're in the yellows, here you can look at the orange with that. crisscross it to the reds. See how much those like shift and change? And that's why, because they're across the color wheel like that. So kind of a cool way to pull things together. Here we'll go, let's see. Isn't that just a neat kind of, it's just a nice way to easily think about, you know, if you know those main ones, if you think about when you make paint, red and blue make purple, yellow and green, or yellow and red make orange, and blue and yellow make green. And then you think, okay, what will be maximum contrast from green? Something that isn't in it. So you go across the color wheel and get your red. Your darker pink, I know, I kept wanting to pull out the berry. I had it. So, okay, let's talk about berry. So my berry is a little bit purpley. You know, it kind of sits in here. It's not a perfect light red. It's kind of its own, which is why I call it berry. You know, a raspberry shade of. So if we think about it, let's see. If we think about it as this red violet, what's across from there? Yellow green. So is that why this has always been a winning combination? Yeah. This is one of the color combos I started the brand with. See, so that's how it makes sense. And then if you want to add in another color and make it on the pinker side, you could go into the violets. Like, how gorgeous is that with the green as your pop? Or if your friend is more of a fan of greens, like you said, the teal, where's my aqua? There it is. Like, look at that. So this, we're doing a little something even different. This we've taken, so we've gone for our opposite. And then this is sort of analogous, but then with a tint too. So we kind of, but that's why, like, we know these go together because they're a tint, the hue and add white, and we get to a tint of that color. These are working for their own reason. These two, the teal and the pistachio, are working for their own reason. And then we put them all together, and it turns out they look great together. And you kind of can't go wrong. You know, if you could see that striped through something like this, you know, it works out. So if anybody has any other fun ideas, I like the pink with the teal fades. I'm gonna have a sip of water. It got so crazy over there for a second. All right. So wait, I don't have my saffron going on. Let's do that saffron. Here it is. This is a unique one because it kind of just sits as, you know, it works with a lot of different things. So it's kind of orange, but kind of yellow. Ooh, a brown and orange mix. We can do brown and orange. Absolutely. So brown is kind of a, okay. All right. Well, here we can go right into browns. All right. So brown, kind of when you're, if we go back to my paint analogy, brown is made, like if you were mixing paint and you mixed red and green together, you kind of get like a dark drab brown. And that's why when we look at browns and deep colors, that's why we start to get like ruddy brown, and we get ochre, which is an orangier brown, and then we get, you know, those sort of like Like nobody likes a blue brown. Those are just not appealing. But so this is the UU chocolate. You can see. Nice, rich, dark chocolate. And so if we take, so we'll do the brown and orange. Here we are. This is a fun one. We can do our saffron, since I had it in my hand, and we can do our orange peel. There we are. That is fun. But then we could also do that heathered saffron. So the heathers has the silver and the charcoal that tone it back. But you can see how it all sort of works together in that medley. What else could we put in there? Ooh, what about like a... So orange, I mean, like red wouldn't be wrong in there. Even the, hold on. What else could I do? Where's my yellow? Here it is. Like, you know, we've taken a family that's working together and then added the depth and dimension. So that is a lot of fun. What else could we do? Oh, we also have the wheat. There we are. That's what I needed. And then we have the wheat and the heathers and the saffron and the orange peel. Love that. Maybe drop the orange. Flip that around. Look at that. Really pretty, like kind of browns and golds. Oh, lovely. Thank you, Anne. Thank you for the suggestion. If anybody has any others, I would love it. So if we take something, you know, in our red family again, like pink, you know, we've tinted it up. And so if we come across the color wheel, that is green. So we can take pink and green. I mean, who doesn't love pink and green? And so you can take the hue and like, okay, that that works. Just like our red and green of the darker combo. Okay. Now I'm not going to be able to hold all of these. If we come this way, then look at that. I mean, how fun is that? From red velvet right on through. We could even do it. So even though I dropped a yarn, I don't know where it went. Okay, I got it. So even though if we take like purple and green, you know, our crocus, maybe that's an iris. So we take our purple and our green, and then we can tint that the same way. And it's working. You know, your eyes know it's working. And then you can, oh, hold on. I want to do it this way. So if we go light on the inside, out to the iris, and then you can even, I have a dark indigo, which is pretty. I know. I wish I could. So I have the dark indigo, and we could have the dark green. This is getting crazy, Heather. There we are. So that's pretty, but you could do the red velvet. And that just adds, I don't know why that adds something to me. Just kind of like takes another dimension to it. Just fun. But Well, the story is the UU is planned. This is how I designed it. That's why it works. So you could do your blue, like here's your sky blue, and you could mix that with saffron. You know, like in that pop your color. The sweaters we're gonna do the knit along for. Like you like light blue because you want to wear it with with your jean jacket. So here's your nice light blue sweater. And you could do your saffron as a pop on the top. Like how pretty would that look? Just a little hint of contrast there. You know, you've taken the principles of this, but you've matured it like this. What a difference that makes. So, just fun. So that is kind of my talk on complementary colors. We could go, I could pull any combos that if you have any other ideas, I am game. But otherwise, it was a good start. I could do more. And like I said, I could do split complements. We could get into some other crazy stuff on a different day. So anyway, I hope you had fun. I hope it gave you some good ideas of fun things to mix together and at least a little bit of just like a mental know-how. So when you're shopping for yarn for your next project or thinking about what your next project will be, it can, sort of stick in there. So we have our primary colors of red, green, and blue. You mix red and blue to get purple. So that means purple's contrast is yellow because there's no yellow in purple. And then you can develop those principles off of that and move colors around. And then you know what to look for. Whenever I go in a yarn store, I'm drawn to like a particular thing. It's like you see something, or maybe you see a color, a special skein, a whole wall of one color, whatever it is. You get in there and you're like, okay, no, you pick it up and you're like, this is what I need today. Or this is what I want to knit in my next project. And then you can take that and you can say, okay, what do I want this to do? I want to lighten it up with a pink, or I want to add contrast, but not too much contrast. So I could pop it with a softer shade. Or maybe I want to go with a neighboring shade. Or maybe I want to make it a color story and go across and around. So, we can go on, the principles are always kind of working. So that is how it goes. And that is how the UU rainbow was designed, and that's how it's intended to be like used. So think of mixing paints, and that's how those things can work and play together to create combinations that you will love. So I hope you have a good evening, nice day. I'm going to go run some errands here before Christmas. And that's it. I'll be back again tomorrow. We'll see. So I hope you've been having fun with these talks, and I'll see you again tomorrow.